Welcome to the Permian Strategic Partnership Podcast. I'm your host, Krista Escamilla. Welcome, everyone, to the Permian Strategic Partnership Podcast. We're so glad that you're here today, sharing some time with us on our second episode. And joining us once again is President and CEO of PSP, Tracee Bentley. Tracee, thanks so much for being here.
Thank you, Krista.
All right, fall is going. We're rolling. Kids are in school. Work is working. And we are here today to talk about something very exciting. We have an election coming up. And so we want to talk a little bit about the Permian voting. What is the initiative that you have underway?
Yes. For the third year, the Permian Strategic Partnership is launching the Permian Votes. And that is a messaging campaign to make sure that every resident of the Permian Basin is registered to vote, and then on November 5th, does in fact vote.
Right. And that is important. There's two things, that not just register, but actually go in that day, or early voting.
Or early voting.
And so we have a few deadlines that we wanted to talk about that you feel are important to get out there, just so we can remind everyone. And of course, registering, that's an important one.
Yes. So, of course, Election Day is November 5th, and the last day to register to vote is Monday the 7th. Mm-hmm. In Texas, and on the New Mexico side, it's October 8th.
Okay.
Early voting will be October 21st through November 1st, including Saturday and Sunday. New Mexico also has same-day registration.
Okay. Nice. That's good to know.
Yes.
And then, of course, we want to talk a little bit about why it's so important to vote. We have a very young demographic here in West Texas, and I think some people are even shocked to find out what the average age is these days, and it is in the mid-30s, correct?
Yes. Only 3 years ago, the average age of a Midlander was 32,
mm-hmm.
and now it's 31.
Okay, so it's getting lower.
It's getting
It's
lower.
getting lower and lower. And I think the thing that is shocking there, and something that you and I were talking about just a moment ago, is that I love that people are choosing to come back here. They may grew up here, and now are choosing to come and raise their families here. I see it time and time again, and that is something we love to see. Yes.
It's an exciting trend, Krista,
it is.
that even since I've been here 5 years, I'm starting to see more of. And as we were talking about earlier, we have more 0 to 4-year-olds mm-hmm. in our community than any other age.
Wow.
How
That's
exciting
crazy.
is that?
I know. And when you hear that statistic, you think, wow, so we are really voting for their future.
That's exactly right. We're voting for what we want our community to look like when those 0 to 4-year-olds are in school, mm-hmm. and then we want them to come back just like their parents did mm-hmm. and raise their families here and really be part of the fabric of our community. So those are the decisions that we are making this November.
Why do you think people choose not to vote? I mean, when you think about it, when you really go, okay, what is the reasoning behind? What are you hearing in the community that really has kind of stopped people in the past from registering it and then actually going on Election Day?
I hear a couple of things. I hear, well, I'm probably only going to be here for 4 or 5 years with my company, and so, I don't think it's important that I weigh in. So let's talk about that. Number one, you just never know. And number two, I would hope, even if that is true, I would hope that in any community that we call home for 1 to 5 years, we would want to leave it better than we found it.
Love that.
So that's
yes.
really important, that no matter how long we think we're going to be here, that we invest everything that we can in a community and leave it amazing for those who are going to come after us who are still here. The second thing that I hear the most is I'm one vote, my vote is not going to matter.
Right.
Well, let me tell you. There are elections in our community that have literally been lost or won by 25 votes.
Yes.
So just think about that. If 26 people would have said, I'm going to go fulfill my civic duty and vote, they could have completely turned at that particular election. We also have school board races, city council races, so many other important races that are literally won or lost by a couple hundred votes or sometimes 50 votes. So let me tell you, every single vote in our community absolutely matters.
Absolutely. And I think those are great points to speak to. And I love the leave it better than you found it, because I think that in general, when you think about it, and a lot of people do think they're going to be here 1 to 2 years. I know I was one of those. I came in for a 2-year contract, and here 25 years later, I can't imagine living anywhere else, and love West Texas. And so if you are in that boat where you think, oh, I'm just going to be here 1 or 2 years, still go ahead and vote, because you never know. You could be here 25 years, and your vote is mattering every single year. So do the steps, take the steps, and go out there and get registered, because it is so important.
It's so easy too. It takes like 5 minutes to register, and for me, it takes even less time to vote, because we have so many great polling stations with so many amazing volunteers who make it very painless and quick to go vote.
What is PSP doing to encourage this throughout the month of October as we lead into Election Day?
Yes, so here very soon, you're going to see up on the television, on the radio, and in print a big campaign telling letting folks know the importance of voting, and also where they can vote, some of these deadlines, and hearing stories about the impact that local decision-making has made on their personal lives. The campaign is going to be done in English and Spanish in West Texas and also Southeast New Mexico, so that we can hopefully get that 10%, to increase significantly. Sadly, only less than 10% of Permian Basin residents vote. So think about that. Less than 10% of our population are making decisions for all of us.
Right.
And these are decisions not only who's going to be president of the United States and our congressman or woman and those things, but literally who's going to run our city and who's going to have decision making over our schools. Those are the things that most of us care about on a day-to-day basis. Yet, most of us are not weighing in on how we would like those decisions to be made. So what an opportunity we have here. And really, it's one that we should care a lot about.
Absolutely. And I think year after year, whenever you hear the election totals of how many people actually voted, it's almost shocking when you look to see how many people live here and then the small number that actually showed up at the polls. So let's make that change this year and make that number grow and really have your voice heard, because it is so important for the future of West Texans.
The other thing, Krista, what we do when we don't exercise our right to vote is we send a signal, and I believe it's a false signal, but nonetheless, we send a signal to Austin and in New Mexico's case, Santa Fe, that we're not engaged, and maybe that we don't care about things like we do. And we all know that that's absolutely not the case. Right. So we need to show up and show them that our voice is important. It should be important to them, and we're gonna make it known.
I remember having my elders tell me, well, you can't complain if you don't get out and vote, because that is your way of making sure that they know how you feel.
It sure is.
Okay. Well, thank you so much. I'm so excited that you have this campaign underway. Look forward to seeing the results. I'm putting it out there right now that we're going to have higher voting totals and numbers this year, because it's important, and it is an important time in our country, in our city, in our schools. And so I think that is very important for everyone to get their voice heard.
Agree. For more information, Krista, can I ask you to go visit permianpartnership.org/votes?
Perfect. And of course, follow PSP on all social media. A great tool to find out more is to go online to their website. You can read the recent reports. You can see all the amazing things that PSP is doing on a daily basis for their 4 key areas that they are helping in our community and really making change on a daily basis. This has been fun. I'm enjoying these conversations. Can't wait to hear more from the Permian Strategic Partnership Podcast and really see the change that is being made here in West Texas. Thank you, and I look forward to our next visit, Tracee.
Thank you, Krista.
Again, go to permianpartnership.org today for more information, but most importantly, get out and vote November 5th. That's the day that we need to remember in our heads. And also, as always, we want to thank you for your time today, for being here. Share this podcast with someone that lives in the Permian or beyond so they can hear all the fantastic things that are happening here in West Texas and New Mexico. And don't forget, the future lies in the Permian, and we're all in this together. We look forward to our next visit. You make it a great day. Thank you for listening to the Permian Strategic Partnership Podcast. For more information, go to permianpartnership.org.